All right, good evening, everybody. Happy Thursday night. We are live talking about the forecast. You can see over the last 2 weeks, beginning of October has been kind of a mixed bag of things. A little bit of heat and a lot of cooler weather. This is the month that typically yields and brings in cooler temperatures in the fall season. Today's high, though, was hotter than average. About 90 was the high in San Antonio specifically. But earlier in the week, as you probably know, the mornings were chilly and the afternoons were gorgeous. Highs were in the 70s on Monday and Tuesday, and the mornings were chilly in the 40s and 50s here in the area, especially across the hill country. If you're watching from Kerrville, Fredericksburg, earlier this week, your morning lows got pretty chilly in the lower 40s earlier this week. Now, we're going towards a different pattern. It looks like by tomorrow, we'll be at about 94 to 95. Same thing on Saturday, and then some cooler weather arrives by the end of next week. So between now and about next Thursday, kind of in the spring, the summer-like pattern into the area. And our next cold front isn't likely to arrive until about Thursday night, and we'll chat all about that coming up in just a bit. So today was a high of 90, way above average for this time of year, and we'll challenge some records tomorrow and Saturday. So today's high 90, tomorrow about 94, Saturday 93, and if you look closely, I'll make this full screen. On Friday and Saturday, the daily records are both 92, both set in 1979. So that means we'll be near, if not beating, both records tomorrow and Saturday, which we haven't done in quite a while, at least probably not since August. Obviously, the summer was pretty hot. But ever since September rolled around, we were gradually going down the roller coaster, but now looks like we're going to return to more of a summer-like pattern just for a few days. And then by next week, things start to improve. More cloud cover built in, and so does the chance at some much-needed rain. 74 at the airport, 71 at Stinson. We are clear. We have a few clouds overhead. Winds are light at about 3 to 5 miles an hour. Humidity is not bad. It's actually been pretty decent these last several days, but it is slowly building back in. But with that being said, it is very comfortable. Humidity values or the dew points are running in the 40s, which is reflecting a very awesome and very comfortable feel to the air. But out west in Del Rio, it's still 80 degrees. Out in the hill country, we fall into the 60s. You know, when you're in the hill country, you're higher in elevation, and typically the air cools a little bit more efficiently with that kind of atmosphere. So while San Antonio's at 74 at this hour, Fredericksburg, Kerrville at 64 degrees, 72 in Eagle Pass, and similar numbers across the board. And yes, pool weather, dude, seriously, yeah. So tomorrow and Saturday, more summer-like. So if you have a pool at your apartment, if you have a pool at home, take advantage, because in October, it can stay pretty hot, and it will for tomorrow and Saturday. Middle 90s expected with building back humidity from the Gulf of Mexico. So yeah, so pool weather is on the way. Only you can say that in Texas, in October at least. And typically in November, December, that's when it starts to cool down consistently. You get more cold fronts moving in, and through December, that's when it consistently gets chilly here in San Antonio. So South Central Texas, South Texas, just a different climate. When you're near the Gulf of Mexico and when you're this far south, it just leads to a warmer weather pattern this time of year compared to areas farther north like the Midwest and areas like that. But yeah, so get ready for a warm weekend. It's going to be, I would say, hot because middle 90s. Average this time of year is 80, 81. But tomorrow we'll be at 94, so almost 15 degrees above normal. So that's not typical here in the area this time of year. Hopefully we have cooler weather for Halloween, Veronica says. Yes. So I think based on what the models are saying right now, Thursday night into Friday is when our next decent front will move in. So it's about 7 days out. A lot can change between now and then. Right now the models are saying pretty good rain next Thursday, but of course we're still in the long range. We'll see if that comes to fruition later in the outlook and in the forecast. If you're traveling anywhere from, let's say, Indiana to Pennsylvania tonight, tomorrow night, that's where the active weather is. Is it severe? No, but there are a couple of pockets of moderate to heavy rain between Chicago, Lake Michigan, New York, Philadelphia, and this is all moving east, northeast, away from Texas. We could use some rain like this, but right now it's not looking like it's in the cards for us. Not until probably Monday or Tuesday next week. Tomorrow's outlook, 94. It's going to be hot. It's going to be summer-like. It's going to be clear. Tomorrow's sunrise at 7:39. Tomorrow's sunset before 7 p.m. So if you've noticed, outside the days have gradually gotten shorter. And typically this happens this time of year. Daylight saving time ends on November 5th, I believe. It's on a Sunday morning, Saturday night situation. Yeah. So in about 3 weeks, daylight saving time ends, and that's the one we like. That's the one that falls back and we gain an hour of sleep. The one in spring is the one we don't like. That's when we jump ahead an hour and lose an hour of sleep. So in a few weeks, the sun's going to set a lot faster because of our daylight saving time ending. And I think sundown, probably in the first week of November, will be around 5:35, 5:40. So days are going to really feel short because of that in a few weeks. So enjoy this as it lasts, because while days are gradually getting shorter, they're still around 7 p.m. and we're not going to have that in a few weeks. So enjoy it while it lasts here in our area. The upper level pattern. So let's chat about this. And if you have any questions, guys, feel free to ask away. Jacob, you can send your photos to Ken's news desk at kens5.com. If you ever have any, photos about the weather, sunsets, sunrises, any severe weather photos in the future, news desk at kens5.com. If you ever want to send a video, photo, anything like that about sunsets or anything like that, news desk at kens5.com, and we can always take a look at that. Yes, sir. Perfect. Absolutely, Jacob. Okay, so backtracking. So our weather between now and Saturday, influenced by this right here, high pressure right over Texas. It's not going to be a strong ridge of high pressure, meaning it won't be 100, but it will be about 94 to 95 both tomorrow and Saturday. So it's going to be hot, it's going to be clear, it's going to be sunny. Good for outdoor plans, but you're going to want to stay cool because October is mild typically, but we're going to be warmer than normal, middle 90s for the next couple days. Now going forward through time, next Monday and next Tuesday is when things start to gradually eventually change. A cutoff low or a deepening area of low pressure will set up out near LA, let's say northern Mexico, Arizona. What that will do is put us in the middle of a low and the middle of a high. See that red spot right there in the Gulf of Mexico, and the blue, the contrast in pressure systems. And when San Antonio and Texas is in the middle of that, we get more cloud cover and an increasing chance for rain. Does it look amazing? No, and I'll show you why in just a moment, but that's kind of the pattern we're going to be entering next week. More cloud cover, that'll help trend down temperatures a little bit more and also elevate our chance for some opportunities at some rain. So here's the European model. This is a long-range model, and you'll see by Monday morning more cloud cover, maybe an isolated shower or two. Nothing all that impressive in the area, but it starts to really green out, and you'll see between Mexico, El Paso, West Texas, that's where it gets a little bit more active. So Lubbock, Amarillo, the Panhandle, you'll see more widespread rain expected there next week. Now, San Antonio and most of our area will be on the tail end of the system, and that will, produce a few showers and a few thunderstorms. But right now, most of the rain, the bulk of activity, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week, out farther north between New Mexico, El Paso, I-20, Abilene, and towards Amarillo and Oklahoma. Not to say we won't see any rain, but it looks like based on what we're seeing right now, farther north is where you want for more of the rain to fall. And then late Wednesday night, let me fast forward a little bit. Let me see. So this is where our cold front, our next one, comes into play. On Thursday morning, a few showers, but Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, based on this evening's run of the model guidance, the cold front would push in Thursday night, Friday morning. Again, we're 7 to 8 days out from this exact timing on this front. So between now and about next Tuesday, things will change a little bit. It may push through earlier, or it may push through a little later towards next weekend. But regardless, this is a good trend, a good sign to see as it's going to warm up right through Saturday, middle 90s. and we want some cooler weather to be back. We had some this week earlier on Monday and Tuesday, but we want it back because it's rebounding to a very warm pattern through Saturday and Sunday. Again, most of the rain farther north through next Thursday, up to 2 inches of rain between San Angelo, Abilene, Lubbock, and North Texas. San Antonio, maybe a quarter to inch of rainfall on average. But again, the farther north you go of the hill country, the better your chances for rain. And the bulk of that for chances is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. And that's all ahead of the next frontal boundary that I'll move through by the end of next work week. And Halloween is on a Monday this year, right? No, it's on a Tuesday. No, it's a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday. I was close. Tuesday. I know. So, yeah. So next Tuesday is the 24th, but the Tuesday after is Halloween. So, yeah, and it looks like based on what we're seeing for late next week's forecast, it'll be cooler, setting up a nice Halloween. In the meantime, you can see the 7-day just shows middle 80s next week and just daily scattered shower chances in our area. Hello, Connie. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment. If you're traveling, if you know any friends or family traveling in the area, we can always look at the forecast that way. But yeah, pretty quiet for us through Saturday. It's going to be hot, lower to middle 90s, a lot of sunshine, more cloud cover building in by Sunday, but better chances for rain. Right now we're running at 30 to 40% scattering of rain next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And again, based on that last forecast model I showed you, the next decent cold front would push through Thursday night into Friday morning, so about 7 days away from now. And right now it's too early to say how cool or chilly or cold it will be. But of course, as we move through the weekend, we'll get more forecast data in, and we'll continue to iron out the details and provide you with the latest. We'll keep it on the 7-day a little longer, guys. For now, have a wonderful evening and enjoy the weekend. Again, you will not need the jacket tomorrow morning. It'll be 60, it'll be mild, it'll feel great. But towards the afternoons tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, it's going to be warm, warmer than average, lower to middle 90s, and then a brief cool down by next week, basically due to cloud cover and elevated chances for rain Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And Jacob, I will look for your photos, good sir. Thank you so much for sending those in, and we'll see if we can get to that in just a moment. But yeah, we'll leave it on the 7-day for a little longer, guys. Have a wonderful night. We'll check on your photos, Jacob. Thank you for sending them in. Again, newsdesk@kens5.com. Jacob, what are my favorite tacos? Whoa, that's a deep question. Favorite tacos. Breakfast tacos, probably bacon and egg or chorizo. That's probably my favorite breakfast tacos. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely, Jacob. No worries. Yes, sir. We'll take a look at that, and we'll see if we can include that on the forecast. I could probably just add your photos. Is it a sunrise or a sunset photo, Jacob? Let me know. But yeah, we'll leave it on the forecast a little longer, guys, and enjoy a hot weekend. Bean and cheese tacos with Big Red. You can't go wrong with that, my friend. No, you cannot. All right, guys, have a wonderful evening. Be safe, and we'll see you later. And we'll see you at KENS 5 News at 10 later on tonight for the latest on local news, weather, sports, and weather here in the area.